Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fine episode of Foxborough Central. I am Bob Hickey, your host, and I thank you for taking the time to join me and my guests as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough truly the gem of Norfolk County. I'm joined today by a couple of gentlemen who represent a larger group and a bigger cause. Of course, I'm talking about the Pan Mass Challenge. We all think we know what it is, but I have the distinct honor and privilege right now to learn firsthand what this particular group does to support the Pan Mass Challenge, why they're doing it, and what we can do to help them. So, with that preamble, let's get underway to my new friends, Danny Tilton.
Thank you, Bob.
And Matt Dawes. How are you doing?
Bob. Good, thanks.
Matt and Danny, I'm so pleased you've taken the time to come out here. Of course, through our mutual acquaintance, Jury Love,
Yes.
we meet all people in Foxborough, so she is a force. So I'm going to not start with the team captain because I know you like the power. I'm going to go talk to this guy over here. Danny, talk to us. What's the Pan Mass Challenge?
The Pan Mass Challenge it's one of the most successful athletic fundraising events in the country.
We hear about it all the time. It happens once a year.
If you drive around here, you'll see signs on the roads through the PMC, and that's for us during the weekend to kind of know where we're going as well. And it's a huge fundraising effort. 6,000 or so cyclists last year, a little bit more this year, I believe.
Amazing.
Our group leaves from Sturbridge, Massachusetts. So if you've ever been to Old Sturbridge Village, you have an idea of where that is. The first day,
a long way away down the
we end up
turnpike.
in Bourne at the Mass Maritime Academy at the end of the first day, which is Saturday.
Wow.
And the second morning, we wake up and we ride all the way to the tip of Provincetown.
Wow, that's
and then we take a
trip.
ferry back to Boston.
Awesome. So, and how long have you been doing this for?
This will be my third year riding.
Okay. And how long have you been riding, Matt?
This will be my 18th year riding.
Your 18th year, and that makes you the captain of Team Forza G.
Yes.
Very cool. Forza G. What does Forza G stand for, sir?
Forza G is Italian. If we translate it back into English, it's G Force. The G in G Force is for Joe Giovinazzo, a friend and mentor of mine who passed away in August of 2000 from T-cell lymphoma. No one who ever worked with Joe could ever spell or pronounce Giovinazzo, so they always knew him simply as Joe G.
Sure.
When I started riding, I knew that I didn't want to be part of a corporate team. I wanted to make it personal. I knew I'd keep riding every year. And so with a few early team members, I suggested, for me, this is all about Joe G and his memory. And I thought about the fact that we as a group are a force to try to find a cure for cancer. And G Force hit me, and I put it into Italian Forza G for, in honor of Joe's heritage.
What a great, and it keeps his name alive.
That's it.
Not forgotten.
No.
So that was the motivation, and then every year since you've raised money. Just asking, how much, conservatively speaking, do you think you've raised to date?
As a team?
Yes, sir.
As a team, we are at about 3.8 million in 13 years.
Wow.
We will pass 4 million this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, speaking of which, and I know the Pan Mass Challenge is coming up really quickly, Danny. When is it coming up?
It is the weekend of August 4th and 5th.
So it's right around the corner, and I would imagine that we're raising money again this year. If we're going to surpass 4 million this year, we got to do it one contribution at a time, right? So if I wanted to contribute, how would I do that?
You can go on to pmc.org is the main website for the Pan Mass Challenge. If you're looking at the screen on the right-hand side about halfway down, it says Find a Rider.
Okay.
You can enter in Tilton or Dillis or Forza G.
Forza G, yes. We'll get it to the entire team.
We'll get you to the team, and that actually has the
I love Forza G. What a great name.
Isn't it a great name?
That's very cool.
I'm kind of surprised that it stuck, actually. The funny thing about it, the interesting thing about it, we'll have 68 team members this year. Last year we had about the same. I'm the only one on the team who ever knew Joe.
Really?
It's carried on. It's carried on his name, and it's everyone brings something new to it every year.
Hey, it's a lasting legacy.
And we all have a Joe. I have my uncle who died from cancer. We have parents, uncles, nephews, nieces that are all fighting right now. So we don't all ride for someone who's gone. We ride for people who are still here. And the money that we raise that goes to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute through the Jimmy Fund, all that money is helping those people.
Yeah. And I think we're all very familiar with that charitable arm. And the Pan Mass Challenge itself, is something that I think we all know about, and we see it as it blows through our town, but it's great to have this conversation to sort of get into the nuts and bolts. So, and I know that we also have a Facebook page, so if I wanted to Facebook you and hit a donation that way, I could also do that. Going to Facebook and just hitting on the search bar for Forza G, correct?
Yes,
Forza-G.
Yes.
There can't be too many Forza Gs out there. It seems like it's a fairly unique group.
If you Google Forza G, there's one other entry that shows up, and it's a really bad Italian fighter pilot movie from the 1970s.
I don't think I even knew that.
That is about the only.
That is awesome.
And I'm about the only person I know who has the soundtrack, because I thought, oh, maybe there's something we could use. But
We do a movie show here, and I'm going to now look that up, and it's going to be on. It's going to be on the FCA Movie Vault, coming to a screen near you some Friday night. But forget that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the really important thing here, which is raising money for Team Forza G. And I know that there's also a video that was made some years ago, which celebrates and explains a little bit more. Maybe now would be a good time to watch that video. What do you think?
sure.
All right,
Great.
so right now we're going to take a look at a video, and it's made by Jay Dobeck, who, was he part of the team?
He is part of the team.
He is
yes.
part of the team, not was, is, with Last Minute Productions. So let's take a moment now and watch this fine video about the Team Forza G and the Pan Mass Challenge.
Well, I started riding the Pan Mass in 2001 because my friend Joe Giovinazzo passed away in 2000 from T-cell lymphoma.
I had just finished chemotherapy in October of 2013, and toward the end of my treatment I was thinking about, like, what was I going to do to get back and to get myself stronger and healthier again.
I started riding the Pan Mass because one of my college roommates, who was the same age as me, had pretty much exactly the same life as me, a beautiful wife, great kids, a promising career, was diagnosed with cancer and struggled for a long time with it, and ultimately in 2001 he lost his battle with cancer.
So in 1996, found a lump in my neck right here. We learned very quickly that it was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
That was one of those defining moments, I would say, in my life when I said, you know what, screw this, I have to do something.
This past year it was about making some sense for me of my own diagnosis and my own cancer treatment.
When Scotty passed away, I felt this incredible burden of not having done anything.
Hodgkin's has a very high cure rate, thankfully, and so I give back.
Back in the day, as a rookie on the PMC, you pretty much couldn't get in on the full Sturbridge to P-Town ride. So in the first year I had to do the one-day Wellesley to Bourne ride. And I was working at Berkshire Mortgage at the time. So I went into the office and I did my fundraising around the office. People made donations, I made my fundraising minimum. Next year rolled around, I already knew I was going to do it again, and I was going to do the full 2-day ride. Do the fundraising again, and then word starts getting around, and all of a sudden, you know, some of the cyclists start coming out of the woodwork. You know, the next thing I know, you needed 4 people minimum for a team. So we officially started the team in 2006, and we went from 4, 6, 10, 12 to, 51 last year.
When I describe the Pan Mass Challenge to other people, I explain it, I think, in 2 ways. One, what it just means to me as an individual, and that is just all about surviving. And it's also all about team, because nobody survives cancer alone. There's the medical team, there's the family, there's the friends, there's the people who just show up, and no one gets through the Pan Mass Challenge alone. There's all the volunteers, there's all the other riders, there's the cops at the intersections.
We are just normal people who are doing something somewhat extraordinary every year.
Anyone who dreams of there being a day when people don't have to walk into a doctor's office and hear the words that they have cancer and be afraid of that diagnosis. You know, that's a dream I think that all of us who end up signing on the dotted line and asking should be dreaming of, and we're helping make it possible.
You know, I wish I could change the one thing that got me started on it, and since I can't, I just, you know, plan to just keep piling it on.
That was a great video. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. So let's talk about that. What did we just see?
Well, Jay put us on the spot and asked us, you know.
That's what we always do. We
sat
put
with
people
Joe
on the spot, so
we
it's
sat
good.
with Jay in the studio, and he basically said, "Take me back. What is it all about for you?" And for me, it goes back to 2000. Again, Joe G, a friend and mentor that I had worked with, and as I sat in his hospital room on his last day, I thought, this is. I thought a friend, and one good friend, is cause enough to stick with a cause for a lifetime. I thought the pain and suffering that even as he was, I think Joe was 42 when he passed away. Okay. I was sitting in his room with his elderly parents. No parent, no matter what age, no parent should watch their child suffer that. Yep. And so I thought at that moment that was my commitment, and I'm happy that I've been able to stick with it ever since. And one of the end themes in the video, I would do anything to change the thing that set me on this path. But since I can't change that, we have a slogan. We're just going to keep piling it on until we don't have to do it anymore.
Great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So piling it on, Danny. What's going to happen this year?
Oh, so as a member of a rider, you have to raise a minimum of $4,900 to do the ride from Sturbridge to Provincetown.
Okay.
So you do that through donations, like Matt said
So we need
earlier.
to help out. Now, if I send it, and just asking, you two have taken the time to come out here, maybe folks at home would say, hey, I really like Danny and Matt. Maybe I want to, give it directly to them. If I send it to Team Forza G, does that go to the collective, and is that a good thing, or how do we want to look at this?
It goes to.
What do you want me to do? Talk to me. Tell me.
To the team.
To the team.
To the team.
And then we can divide it up.
Team effort.
Yeah.
The nice thing about being members of a team, everyone tries, and this team, I mean, we have to have $4,900 minimum. Our team members last year averaged over 9,000.
That's great.
We are consistently a heavy hitter team, to use the PMC terminology.
If you have 68 members and you're each raising that much money, that is a force.
We were the number 8 fundraising team in all of the teams last year.
Wow.
And we don't have a big corporate sponsor. 68 team members. You've got 68 different ways of raising the money. Everything from selling pumpkin cake to selling barbecue to the simple ask of friends and family. It's every donation matters, and it's greatly appreciated.
So just a quick reminder to everybody at home that we are speaking with Danny Tilton and Matt Dillis here with Team Forza G. They'd like your support. They are part of the Forza G significant force, 68 members strong cycling team in the Pan Mass Challenge, which is going to be coming up this August 4th and 5th. They could use your support. You can find them by logging on to www.pmc.org, Pan Mass Challenge, pmc.org, and then going to the right and finding the Find a Team and type in Forza-G. That's them, or you can go to Facebook, type in Forza-G there as well, and you'll find there's a link, there's a donation link on there as well. Yes. Awesome. So go to the whole team. So with and time is running out, as it always does so quickly here in Foxborough Central. So just a little bit of and cancer has touched all of us in some ways. Sure. Both my parents passed away due to cancer, and I've got some relatives now who are fighting the good fight. So for those of us who don't ride, don't do things like that, is this enough? Should we be doing more? What is it that we can do to really help out?
Well, I'll tell you one of the other things that I started, because I started on this path. I was introduced to the need for platelet donations at the Kraft Family Blood Donor Center at Dana-Farber. Cancer patients, chemotherapy will knock down your platelets, and you need those clotting cells in order to remain healthy. I started back in 2006, and I think we've now, Forza G team members have now donated in excess of 500 platelet donations.
Donating platelets is such an important thing to do because and blood donations, not minimizing that, but the platelets have such a bigger range of what it can be done with it.
Yeah, and I would say this, whether it's donating platelets, whether it's donating money to the cause, even if it's, don't sell yourself short. Even bringing a meal over to a parent or a family who's dealing with someone going through treatment. Donating a gas card so they don't have to worry about trips into Boston.
Yeah.
Anything like that helps. And any little bit that takes the stress off of them so that they can be there for that family member, that patient, it just improves it for the whole, it improves the situation.
And there's really no greater feeling than knowing that you contributed in some small way to somebody else, just minimizing the misery they're going through, both the patient as well as the family, because as you said, there's no worse feeling than seeing your child suffer that way.
Absolutely.
So it is a wonderful thing that these two gentlemen are doing. Matt and Danny are going to be cycling a long, long way from Sturbridge all the way to P-Town. And I cannot imagine doing that myself. So all the credit to you. And you've done this now. How many years did you say?
No, this is my 18th year.
That's amazing. And 3
My
for
third.
you. Okay. Now, how did you get involved? Then I guess I should ask, because I know there are people out there who bicycle, who are enthusiasts, and also recognize this being a great cause. Some people may say, "Hey, I don't know how to get involved." How did you get involved?
My wife and I are in a competition barbecue team with a friend of mine from high school.
Excuse me, what?
Yes, you
That's
watched.
a whole nother show. But
That's have us back next week for that one.
Now we got everybody's attention.
We'll bring Uncle Jed with us, Uncle Jed's barbecue team.
Excellent.
And it's just one of those things where we met someone, Jamie Shear, who worked at Harpoon Brewery. We were at the brewery for a barbecue event. He joined our team. We all became friends. Somehow Jamie met Matt and joined Forza G. And then more people that knew Jamie joined Forza G. And then they all pretty much said, "Hey, Danny, you're a big guy, but you can ride a bike for 2 days for 200 miles for this. You know, you can write checks, and like Matt said, giving donations and things like that's great. But sometimes you need people to show up and do something." So I said, "Well, I can do this.
Awesome.
I don't have cancer myself, but we have a lot of people on our team. They're called Living Proof. Are people who've Dana-Farber through this huge Herculean effort have helped. They are around today, and we have a number of them on our team who ride with us.
And that is extra special. That to me is the next phase. I will always ride in Joe's memory, but to be able to ride with people who have survived cancer, who are living with cancer, and to just see the effort they put in. It's not about the bike. It's not about, you can't win the Pan Mass Challenge.
It's not a race.
It's not a race. It's a ride. No matter what. It's just, for those living proof riders, it's a great way, I think, to reclaim their lives, to reclaim, this thing and say, I can do this, and I can do this for someone else. And that's got to be the biggest inspiration, I think, right now.
Sounds amazing. So it is a great cause. It is an important issue, and it's something that we wish you the best as you go forward. I'm going to say one more time the contact information. Of course, we'll give the captain the last word, as we always do, because he's the captain.
Yes.
Right? So I want to remind everybody that we are speaking with Danny Tilton and Matt Dillis with Team Forza G. They are riding in the Pan Mass Challenge this August 4th and August 5th, 2018. It is a 200-mile trek from Sturbridge to Provincetown. They need your support. Go to Facebook, type in on the search bar Forza G, that's Forza-G, not the movie, but the team, and make a generous donation. Every little bit helps. It goes to the team. Team members each have to raise a certain amount of money. They're nearing $4 million, so you can help put them over the top for their worthy goal. Of course, you can also go to the Pan Mass Challenge site itself, www.pmc.org, and on the right side there's a drop-down button for the team. Again, Forza G, find the team, make a donation, do the right thing, make yourself feel better, and help these guys make their goal. So, Captain Diesel, why does it say Diesel? I got to ask.
Diesel was the nickname given.
I keep looking down here because I keep looking there.
Yeah,
Diesel.
Yeah, you don't see that.
Dillis, Diesel, Matt.
Okay, when I first started, and I
Do I
know
need to go to extra time for this?
No,
story?
no, no. I'll keep it short.
We can do it. We can do another half hour here. Lauren doesn't mind. No.
Bottom line, when you talk about people who say, I don't know how you can ride the miles you ride, I'm a big guy, Danny's a big guy. We're not built for bike riding. If you see a professional cyclist, they're about 5 foot and change, and yeah.
Stick thin.
The nickname Diesel came from one of my early teammates who looked at me and said, just like a diesel truck. He's slow to start.
You're gonna go.
He's slow to start, but once he gets going, you're not going to stop him. And yeah, like a big diesel lorry, the British folks would say, just chugging along on the road. And yeah, 18 years later, and we're just chugging along.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, my friends.
I think
the
one
last
more
word
important thing, as well as if folks who make a donation, it is one of the few charities where 100% of the money that we raise as riders goes to Dana-Farber through the Jimmy Fund. Yeah. It's 100% tax deductible. There's what we raise doesn't go to overhead or pay salaries or anything like that. There's big corporate donors that pay for that. Yeah. What we raise 100% goes to help people with cancer.
And I think that's one of the things that makes PMS Challenge so positive, and the Jimmy Fund, and everybody knows the story of the Jimmy Fund, and how wonderful they are in supporting the Dana-Farber Institute, and what an important role they've played. So all the credit to you two gentlemen for your continuing work and starting Forza G.
Thank you.
I'll go with Diesel.
Okay, that works.
All right, tell me what to do.
Get on a bike and join us next year.
Come on down.
Why not? You would be amazed.
I like this guy.
It's all in your head. If your brain thinks you can do it, your legs will do it.
You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say that to anyone. You don't jump in and say, I'm going to ride 100 miles or I'm going to ride 192 miles.
You work it out.
You work it out, and if you want to make the commitment as a team, we have cycling experts, we have training experts. We've got you covered. Right. We don't leave anyone hanging out there.
You can pick out your own name too.
Yep.
There you go. I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole, but hopefully you do. Team Forza D, it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Bob, thank you so much.
Matt.
Thank you, Bob.
The pleasure's been mine. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the program. I wish you all the best, and I know that you're going to have a successful. I've looked at a map, and it's all downhill from Sturbridge down, and then over the bridge, and then up to Provincetown.
There's no hills in Cape Cod.
None.
We end at sea level. How bad could it be?
That's right, exactly. You're right there on the beach. It's beautiful, I'm sure. In all seriousness, the PMS Challenge is an extremely important event. It raises money for a very, very difficult but important cause. Dana-Farber Institute does the work that we need them to do to help all of us who have been touched by cancer. The important thing for you is to reach in your pockets and help them out. Go to Forza G on Facebook or on the pmc.org site. Help them out. Help them hit that $4 million mark, which is an amazing figure. Congratulations to you guys.
Thanks again.
A couple fat guys riding bikes.
You know what? It's
$4 million.
what makes the world go around. I love this. So on behalf of all of us here at Foxborough Central, including my volunteers who make my life a wonderful thing, Deb Storrs and Mike Stewart behind the glass, Paul Beck, who makes this all happen, and then Tyler Scharfman and Alex Peary, our newest helper out here at Foxborough Central. Thank you so much to everybody, and thank you for donating and supporting the PMS Challenge. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.